gospel, light of the temple. Sword swing, killer live from the ghetto. The hood messenger, let them know hell's close. Black burial, the devil in a black cloak.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast. I'm your host, Dave One, and this is episode number... Yo, Cam, what episode is this?
This is episode 115.
115. You almost caught me off guard right there, man. I was looking at my phone for a second. All right, so 115. Yeah, man, we had a lot of good podcasts the last couple of weeks, man. A couple people fell off, but we rescheduled them, so that was good. But I definitely liked Rooftop Korean, right? I mean, Tony Moon was dope. I mean, his story is great guy, stand-up dude, very interesting guy. So if you like interesting dudes, go listen to that podcast number 114 with Tony Moon, one of the original Rooftop Koreans. If you remember the Rooftop Koreans from the 92 riots, he was one of those dudes that were on his roof protecting his dad's store from looters and rioters and gang members and everything else. So definitely a good guy. And then we had some connections. We talked about after the show. We knew some of the same people, same neighborhood, so that was great. But today, I'm happy to have a guest today. And, I have Cam, I don't know how many people we've had multiple times. Pastor Adam, your mom, Taco God. Who else? Stephen Malcolm, Joe Bob, all repeat guys. Definitely, I love all my guests. But there's something special when we invite a guest back or we make that happen. So I want to welcome to the Street Gospel. This guy started is it a program?
Man, I don't even know what the fuck it is anymore.
Yeah, Superhuman Fathers.
Dude,
I mean, he's a great dad, a great husband, a fit old son of a gun, which I love and get inspired by. And now he's fitting to be an author. So I want to welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast, Mr. Kyle Carnohan.
Dude, I just watched the whole last podcast on my drive here while I had to take a piss so bad. And when I messaged you, I was like, I hate being late, dude. I hate it so much. It's a fireman thing, you know?
Yeah.
But the traffic hit me, and I was like, I didn't plan it. Left 30 minutes earlier than I thought I was going to make it. And then I told you I had to piss, and you're like, pull over. And I was like, oh, man challenge. Man challenge. We will suffer through this. This will be my gift by getting here early as possible.
For work, I drive sometimes, and just like you said, I got to get somewhere at a certain time. I'm not pulling over and running into Starbucks and buying a drink that I don't want just because I don't want to be embarrassed about just using their restroom. I'm not that guy.
Hey, what do we tell our kids? We can't be hypocrites.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what? You're going to have to hold it till we get there. So I just said that to myself, you know?
But an hour and 10 minutes is a long time to hold this.
That's like, you got to train for that. You got to stretch your bladder.
Oh,
out,
you got to train for that.
You got to be trained. Dude, I think it was episode 63 I was on, man.
Oh, yeah. So it's like half a podcast season ago, I guess. I don't have seasons, but it's been
over
a long
2
time.
years ago.
Yeah, it's been that long?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you again.
Yeah, dude, honestly, this is like when you hit me up.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh, yeah, you're doing this. Like, this is supposed to happen right now.
You said no hesitation. And what was cool is that I asked you, we got to get you back. And you were like, let's do it. And then I was like, here's a few dates. And I was thinking like, yeah, get back to me in a few, maybe a week or so. I know you're busy. And then right away, like, the earliest date, this date. Let's do it. And I was like, whoa, let's go.
Yeah, man.
So it worked out perfect. It worked out perfect. I had an open week, and I was like, oh, let's do it then. So
check this out, dude. So I got a guy I've been working with for a long time.
Yeah.
Struggling. Motherfucker's struggling. He slips back into just lust and strip clubs and shit, you know? But he wants to be that fucking guy so bad. And I got these small groups I work with. I've learned that small groups are the key to the game with working with guys because they can't hide. So I've been making these small groups, and I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper with these guys. And it's just getting hotter because, like, now I have this ability to just extract truth from people. You cannot sit with me in my groups and hide anything. Just terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But so anyway, he blew it and just kind of like brother fucked the whole group because he made commitments and then just blew it, man. So I had to kick him out of the group.
What does it take to get kicked out of the group? I'm not saying get in specifics,
so-
but what is like the non-negotiable?
Dude, it's all feel, really, because at some point you give a guy enough chances that, like, I can't have you in this group. Like,
so you over time you can doesn't keep his word. You're kind of like, you're not about this life.
Yeah.
Because that one guy could ruin the rest of the group.
Yes.
Okay.
So he'll drag the rest of the group down, the energy, right?
Got it.
That group is for that. Like, certain groups are a certain type of guy that have gotten to a certain place that we're trying to get to together. And if you're this outlier, like, dude, you're not ready for this yet.
Right.
Now, and this guy, I love this guy. I will never leave my guys in the dirt. Never. So he gets, in a sense, promoted. Like, he paid me for the group coaching. Like, I'm taking this guy one-on-one.
Yeah.
Anyway, the dude, by chance, is in Long Beach. I come up here. He's like, hey, what's going on? I go, I'm driving to Rancho Cucamonga. And he goes, dude, I'm meeting with a client in Rancho Cucamonga.
Nice.
He's like, can we have dinner tonight? I was like, dude, this is how life's working for me, man. Like, shit just sets up in my world that's just like, all this stuff's supposed to happen, and I'm seeing it now, you know?
So good. I think I love the small group settings.
Yeah.
I love the one-on-one. I feel like, my pastor always tells me that, Adam. He always says, I was going through a little spiritual midlife crisis and thinking I'm not being effective as I think in my own mind I should be, right?
Yeah, I know
So I'm telling him, like, I'm getting a little older, man. I maybe have this much time to be effective and make a difference. And he says, you've already made a difference. It's the little things. It's the one-on-ones. It's the texts. It's the phone calls. It's the people that you're connecting with. That has a greater impact than getting in front of a crowd of 200 people for 40 minutes. That's great, and we need that. But the one-on-one is even better. So I 100% agree with you on the small group stuff because it makes an impact.
We even broke our big group up into teams and put mentors over them because I realized, like, half the guys, just human nature, you have this tendency to just kind of go into the background and hide so that you're not held accountable, you know? And the greatest key leverage to change is exposure. Like, it's penitence, dude. We're going to go into all of this.
Yeah.
But you said something on the last podcast. You're like, and I'm watching it on our podcast. You're going, hey, all your stuff lines up. Like, you're
just going to bring that up right now.
I know you were. Like, you're just missing this one piece.
Yeah.
And I said something on there. I was like, listen, man, I'm listening to the voice. I don't know if it's the universe or God or whatever. And I said, maybe we'll find it on this podcast. And I'm listening to myself talk, and I'm like, this dumbass thinks he came up with this stuff.
I remember saying that during the podcast, but I remember talking to you after. We were out here, and we were just chatting it up, and I remember telling you, I said, you have the discipline. You have the drive. You have all these things. You treat your wife well. You're working on your marriage. You have great kids. Like, bro, your business is booming. And I'm like, if you put Jesus in there, if you put God in there, dude, it like takes it 1,000% higher, and on all aspects, right? Because now you just talked about accountability and putting guys on the spot. Well, what greater accountability for you to know that here's a guy, Jesus, God, watching you 100% of the time, and you got to be accountable, not only in your actions and your words, but even in your thoughts. That's pretty crazy.
The intents of your heart.
Yes.
Bro, he fucking broke me. Wow. I had no idea. Like, the closer you get to Christ, the closer you get to the cross, man. And I was such a good man, right? I get it. You know, he just showed me all of my weakness and just made me look at it, man. And I was like, how is that possible? Like, I've worked so hard, you know? But, you know, all the things we talked about are true and good. All of them.
They're all good.
They're all important.
I wouldn't have had you if I didn't think your principles and what you teach men, if they weren't good. They are good.
They all can become false gods.
Yes.
All good things can become false gods.
Yeah.
And I just didn't get it, man. And you know, I had given my will to character and integrity. I had already passed off my will. I just gave it to a different God that couldn't give back to me what I found in Jesus. And when that switched, man, oh man, what is that? Yeah. That's the Holy Spirit, man.
Wow.
And it's burning in me. I just can't stop loving people, man, and loving myself, and just filled with gratitude. It's just overtaken me. I don't know what to do next because I don't need anything. We talked about it on the last podcast, like need nothing. But you can't need nothing without Jesus. And it was just like set up for me. And then, he just knew exactly what to do, man. He just took enough from me to just break my ego in half. So between the business got really, really hard. And in the last podcast, I was saying, like, pour it all in and burn it down. Well, I fucking did. I burned it down, dude. I literally went through $6 million trying to build this thing. And it just, there was a couple moves we made, and it slowed down, and it tanked. And I almost had to declare bankruptcy, bro.
Whoa.
Like, I was close. Like, dude, millions, and I fucked it up. Like,
bro, most guys like you will not admit that.
And
I'm just being real.
Yeah.
There's a million coaches out there. A million of them, I'm not saying all of them, a lot of them are pretending.
Yes, sir.
Being something else.
Yeah.
They would never admit, I screwed it up, or I made a mistake, or we almost tanked it.
Yeah.
Why are you okay with admitting that?
Because I believe in real transformation, bro. And real transformation only happens in absolute honesty and integrity. And the world is struggling and suffering, and a lot of these men, they don't feel like they can tell their truth. They'll go as far as you will go. So, like, guys will only share with me as much as I'm willing to share with them. And if I just open it up, then they are free to just be. And within that, like, until I got to my dude, I would have told you, hey, what's your greatest fear right now? Fucking this up. Moving back to my old house in Oceanside, like, failing my people. Well, it happened. And there was a moment when I was at my old house where I started Superhuman Fathers with literally like $500,000 in debt, $300 in my bank account. Okay. So what does that do? Now at this point I had really sought Jesus. Like, I knew, I was like, the voice is, I get it. I see it. I understand it. I feel it. It's not something that you can understand with your logical mind. You just can't. It's all heart. As I delve farther into heart, it just got clearer and clearer to me. And then I started digging in the Bible, and I went through the whole Old Testament, which was perfect timing because it was while I was the king, right? So I got to live the Old Testament, where I'd read about like King Solomon and King David, and I'd be like, this is the life. This is the king. Make money, have your castle, be disciplined, do the things, right? So I lived this Old Testament life. And then right when I got into the New Testament, everything crashed. And I'm sitting there with Jesus, man. And he's like, now you see it? He's like, I got a gift for you. And the last of my will, like I had this moment of just struggle. Because I'm like, I don't know if I trust you, but I'm talking to him like he's so real. And I'm having this conversation and he's like, you're going to have to trust me. I'm like, are you going to take advantage of me? Are you going to like, I got to hold on to this something. And he's like, no, all of it. I need all of you. Just give it all to me. You got to trust me. And so I had this moment on my knees, just terrified, crying. And I said, all right, I'm all yours. And I got this rush of like clarity of like, none of this business is mine. None of this money is mine. And we started this foundation. I just stopped selling. I'm like, just started helping people. And I was just like, if you want to sign up for this costs, this doesn't. Like, it's just a totally different approach, which freaked me out. Like, I'm still freaked out. I'm freaked out right now. You know, like, don't get me wrong. Like, we still have a decent bit. I'm not a 7-figure business right now, which irks me, you know?
But
like,
I think that's the scary part, right?
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you say that, because I tell me and my wife are like, we have to trust the Lord. And I think the Lord's always challenging you in different seasons of your life.
Yep.
And in this last year, God has just been on trust. And I'm realizing there's a little bit of fear in trust.
There is, man.
And I realize that when there is fear, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because then I really have to depend on him.
Yep.
And when I have fear, that means it's not me no more.
Yeah, man.
I have no control.
Dude, that's terrifying, because we have our identity and we have our ego right? And you're like, well, if I give all of me to you, will I cease to exist in my own mind, right? Like, it's a death. It really is. And you know, I talked about this in my book. It was like, I realized that I wanted to be God. And that was a weird thing to say out loud. Like, I wanted the throne, I wanted the crown, I wanted to be in control. I wanted to get all the benefits, but I didn't want to bend the knee. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, like, and where in my life am I trying to be God? Like, and I'm just seeing all these different pieces of me trying to keep control. And internally, especially like business owners that are hard charging drivers, dude. Like, if you don't do it, it ain't going to happen, right? And in the flesh, this is a true statement. Like, if I don't do the work, I'm not going to get the body. If I don't do the reps,
Sure.
if I don't show up and do the sales, or if I don't build this program, like, the business is not going to, I have to do it.
Yeah.
But in the spirit, it's all done for you. And
You have to work.
yes,
Faith without works is dead.
right.
But it's the faith, not the works that come. You got to have the faith and then do your part.
Yeah.
And God's doing that faith part first, and you have to trust him that he's working. You still got to get up. You still got to get in your word. You still got to do the reps.
Yeah.
But I think the other way around is, like you said, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yes.
I'm going to be God. And then God goes, hold up.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you strength to do what I need you to do, but you're not going to be able to do it on your own.
And what I need you to do.
Yep.
But we don't listen because we want what we want, and we want it to be the way we want it to be, rather than turning to him and saying, hey, is this the route you want? Like, is this where you want me to go?
What's your will?
And like, you know, I got to the point where I was like, what, do you want me to build a church? Like, you want me to be a pastor? Like, what? I'll give it all away. You want me to live in a trailer? Like, I'm down.
You're willing.
100% sitting here willing. I don't care. Like, I just want to do what I'm supposed to do. And so now I'm seeking that in where I'm at. And I'm still not sure. I sit in church and I'm like, I feel this pull of like, this pull between, it's just weird because before I'm a fitness coach, right? Then I start delving into deeper shit with guys and I'm like, oh wow, keep pulling this string. And now I'm dealing with deep addictions. I'm dealing with guys that are we start dealing with these marriages at a deeper level. Oh my, dude, we open this can up,
Yep.
and me and Whitney's level of vulnerability with these couples and these groups, all the shit that came out there that's just ready to explode. Like, we created this group that's like a mix between Jerry Springer and church, bro. Like, I will drop grenades on these couples and get them to fight, to get the demons to come up so we can work with them. Yeah. And I mean, it is so incredibly heavy the deeper you get into this stuff that I can't do this.
Yeah.
I need help. Like, I can't know what to say. There's too much going on. And so I have to surrender everything to get what I truly want, which is what? I just want to help these people, and I just want to get out of the way and give it back to them. Like, to me, that's crazy. This is why I said I'm not the same guy that sat across from you at the table last time. That guy's dead. This is a different human.
I am blown away by that. Just in the fact that God brought you to your knees. I've had coaches on. I've had MMA guys on, disciplined men, not necessarily believers, all of them. Guys I respect for sure because of what they built or how their physique, and being disciplined in that area. But I've always told those guys, like, I can learn from you on these things. I agree. When you came, I was like, dude, this guy is very inspiring. I loved it. I love that he's pushing fatherhood. That's what we need in this country. So we need strong fathers. I love his message. But I always think I would always say to myself, that guy would find the Lord, accept Jesus in his life, and use what God gave him. Because this is what you have is a gift, right? Not everybody has it.
Yeah.
My pastor, same thing. I'm like, man, I respect that guy. Disciplined man, hits the gym every day, is faithful in everything that he does. And I'm like, I can respect that. It's a gift. And I think you have that gift that God's given you. And now to see you redirecting that gift, not that it was bad before, right? Maybe had a couple little aspects, like you said, you thought I'm going to be God, or you thought everybody's changing because of me.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle. But I think when God brings us to his knees and says, Kyle, listen, I gave you these tools and I gave you these gifts, not for your own, glory, but for my glory.
He's like, my son, you are not the king. But until you don't need the power anymore, I can't give it to you. Let it go. Give it all to me. And what you will receive will be more powerful than you've ever experienced, and you won't need it. You'll give it back. I can trust you with it. So discipline is a great first step. It truly is. Like, a Christian man needs to be disciplined in order to be trusted with the power that will be given him so that he will use it for good. But it's not mine. And I can't want it for me to scratch my ego, which is this internal war inside.
For all of us, bro.
All of us.
Yes. Especially men.
Like, when you talk to a money-making guy and you're like, hey, think, like, you have him close his eyes. Okay, take a deep breath. Now, I want you to, inside, give all your money away. Just give it away. Let go of it. They'll be like, they'll get an adrenaline rush. They're like, whoa, no. They'll fight it, right? So I'm like, that's where your greatest power will be found, is internally giving everything away, giving it back to God, everything. And the way I see these guys get destroyed is this quiet desire for validation and glory, because when you're winning real big, you get a lot of praise back, right? And so you want to take that for you. You might say, "Oh, glory to God," but inside you aren't actually giving it. You're taking it and you're using it for your own glory. And you might even be tricked in your own head. You're just like, "Oh yeah, I go to church, I believe in God," but you're holding on to it. You're not actually giving it away. It's an actual heart posture to receive and then pass off. And it's the thing that'll protect you. It'll protect you from getting deceived and going down a dark path, becoming an evil king. And it's fickle, and the deceptions are all around us, just waiting to grab us,
Every day. I love what you said earlier. You said that you gave it to God, but you were asking him, can I hold on to these little pieces?
Yeah.
And I think we all do that.
Yeah.
I think we all do that. I'm sure you find that in your program where guys are like, hey, I don't want to go all in. Can I just keep this little bit of pornography? Can I keep this little bit of flirting at work with this woman? Can I keep these people over here and just leave the door slightly open? Not totally slam the door, keep it a little bit open. So if this doesn't work out, I come back to this.
Yeah.
I think in some way or form, maybe not as deep as that, but I think we all try to like, can I just hold on to this?
Yeah.
I've been in church services and God's like, hey, just give what and I made a little, we negotiate with God sometimes. We try to negotiate. One time the Lord told me, why don't you give a little extra today? Okay. So I put a number in my head. And then the Lord tells me, why don't you ask your wife what you should give? And that's what you should give. And I'm like, no. She's way bigger giver than me, right? So I already knew it was going to be above my threshold that I wanted to give.
Yeah.
Once again, let me just keep a little bit. And so I had the number I wanted. I had the number God told me, and then he tells me, okay. I guess he negotiated with me, but he knew the end from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask your wife? Then she tells me the number he said, right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Lord, man. There's no negotiating sometimes. It's like I got to be all in.
It's kind of funny. So I do these writings every morning, and I'll pour out what's going on, what I'm learning. I'll talk about like where my heart's at, where my integrity's at, where my alignment's at. And sometimes I'm writing for like 90 minutes, 2 hours. And at the end of my writing, I pray in writing. So I'm like having a conversation back and forth with God, and I'll throw stuff on the table that I don't want to talk about because I don't want the answer. And I know when I have a resistance to it that I need to bring it up. And then I just let the answers come, and I never know which route it's going to go. And a lot of times it calls me out and will tell me stuff that's like, hey, you need to call this person, or you need to shut this down, or you need to give this. And I'm like, oh man, I wish it's so much easier just not to ask the question, just ignore it. And, so like, I feel that, like, I get that. Now I'm trying to live like that, I'm trying to live like that. And now I'm in this weird pocket because I charge people money to change their lives, but I just want to change lives, but you have to have fucking money, right? Like I have to make $40,000 a month to pay my home expenses and my business expenses. And that is, I cut almost everything to bring this thing down as small as possible so that I could just do good in the world. And so I'm like, okay, we have to change the frame of this thing. We got to rebuild with an entirely different view. So I'm like, I'm going to build these small groups and build out my large group in reoccurring revenue so that we can hit our monthly nut that we need to do. And then we just, I don't know, pastor, like then I don't need anything. And I'm close to reoccurring revenue at that spot, which is really cool. By the way, I told you I almost went bankrupt, right? So I had to make some incredibly impossible miracles happen by leaning into God and just saying, what do I do? And then little sprinkles. It's the craziest thing. I said, what do I do? He goes, make a free program and help the people that I'm sending to you. And at the time, dude, this is how it leads up. God's been telling me in my writings, droves of men will be coming to you. Droves. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, 8-figure. We're doing the 8-figure coach thing. Here it comes. Like, droves are coming. So I have a buddy that makes the VSLs. And I'm like, man, I got to put a new ad out. Like, things are slowing down on Instagram. Trust in the marketplace is way down because people are like, hold on a second. The fuck's going on with these coaches? I smell some bullshit, right? Stories coming out and shit. So people are just like, wait, what the fuck? I thought that guy was perfect.
Yeah.
No, nobody's perfect, dude. So I'm waiting for these droves to come in, these men. And I do this VSL. It's like 15 minutes long. It was like the most authentic version of me, right? So I put it out and my ads guy calls me. He goes, dude, you're getting $5 appointments. And I was like, this is it. This was the promise. He's been promising me this for like a year. So I get on the call. Dude's just covered in face tats, just got out of prison, just broken. Next guy, hey, I saw your ad. I am a lifelong criminal. I have to stop selling drugs and hurting people. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm talking to him. And then the next guy is like, hey, I just got divorced. I'm homeless. And next, boom. But one after the other, just broken. The most broken people you could possibly imagine. Hundreds of them. And I had a moment where I was like, droves of men. I go, this is hilarious. This is what you meant. And so I go, what do I do? He goes, create the foundation and just bring them in and trust me. And I'm like, okay. So we spend, like my income revenue has dropped significantly. I have to do some sort of campaign to make money or we're going to die. And I'm spending all this time building the foundation, just not worrying about anything. Just like, why am I so at peace right now? This is weird. I fully just accepted whatever route whatever was going to happen. I didn't care. So we build the foundation and all of a sudden he goes, write a book. And I was like, dude, I've tried to write books. I can't write books. Like, there's no way I could write a book. Even on our last podcast, I talked about writing my book. You know how many times I tried to write that stupid book and threw it away? I was just like, I can't write a book. I'm not capable. So I write this book in like 4 days. Now, this is the book before the book that I sent you. So now I'm on book 2.
Wow.
Okay. 4 days I write this book. And it was called The Undeniable Man. And I finished the book and the thought comes to me, build these small groups. Don't charge fucking crazy like you did before, but it's a high-end group. Like, charge a decent amount and just send your book out to select people. So I probably chose like 20 people and probably over the course of 2 groups, there's probably 28 people. 20 of those guys joined.
Wow.
Reoccurring revenue is almost to where it needs to be for me to be able to just be and do my thing. So
Crazy.
this is like, I say I'm going to give my will. And now this level of all the discipline that I have really tried to build is now really being tested with this trust. Now we've got the discipline and the trust. And at the helm of that is penitence. And as I'm teaching my guys the same thing through my own actions, being the penitent man, it's not a one-time thing. It's a state of being. It's a heart posture. And I'm realizing that our ticket to heaven, it has nothing to do with what we do. It's where does our heart point? And so when I looked at my heart, I saw some things that needed to change in the intents of my heart. And that was the way bigger a battle than anything I built in the physical realm. And I'm still battling with it. And I'm realizing as you dig deeper into the intents of your heart, you will unravel an entire universe of awareness of your imperfections So when I came on your podcast last time, I was feeling pretty up and badass.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I come to you broken. Now, why would someone accept or chase that?
Or even admit that.
Sure, right? Yeah, because what's the point of admitting it? Especially when you're running a business, dude. You're going to tell people you're broken. Why would they follow you? Why would they? Aren't you on this podcast to make money? No, I'm not on this podcast to make money. I'm on this podcast to bring people to find what I found. That's why I'm here. And guess what? Some people will hear it and they'll go, I need to work with that guy because he's not full of shit. And I have no one in my life that I actually trust. Trust is earned through being honest when it is extremely difficult and there's a lot on the line. And in my life, just like everyone else's, if you ask the question, like, who do I like actually trust, like with everything, like just with everything, it'll be a small list.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing to see the transformation. And for it was natural. You know what I mean? It was, it was organic.
Yes.
It wasn't like, it wasn't like anything I did or anybody did. You know, you hear stories of that. Maybe somebody's challenging you, witnessing to you, trying to get to you. It was like you and God, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins.
You make a great point because I didn't find this by it falling on me. I am a seeker, a deep seeker of transformation. And I've always, especially since starting this, I'm like, how do I help men find the thing? Like, what is this fire that I feel? What is that? And how do I get deeper into that? And then I start communicating with the voice, right? Not sure what it was. And as I got closer and deeper into the voice, when it revealed itself to me, I was just dumbfounded. And if no one's experienced this, and there's a lot of guys I talk to about this, where I say, hey, man, you know, I have a couple guys I brought into my group that just were brought to me by just magic, right? God. And I go, hey, so I'm going to explain like a feeling to you. And I'll say, every morning when I wake up in the dark, I walk in and I pray in my bathroom. And I pray to give my will to God that day and not to resent the work. And then I go get in a cold shower and I think about sacrifice. Like I ponder on it. Like the sacrifices that have been made for me, which ends at Jesus. Just picturing what he did, not just on the cross, but in the garden and all this stuff that's going on in the world on his back. And then I get into the Bible and I will tell you the work that I had done prior leading into the New Testament. When I open it up and I read Jesus's words, they are like a knife to my soul. I used to read that stuff and it didn't do anything to me, but it is cutting my heart open. And what I get from that, once my heart is cracked open, my hair rises on end. I cannot stop the gratitude from pouring from me. And I just sit in this cloud of joy where feel like I'm floating. And I'm like, am I on drugs? Like, is God a drug? Because this is crazy. And all it does is make me love everyone. And it's straight spirit. And I'll tell the guy, and he goes, I've never experienced anything like that. And I'm like, this year you're going to. I promise. And these are guys that have like, I've never been happy my entire life. I've been chasing fucking money. I've been chasing success. I've been chasing winning. I've been trying to prove myself somehow. And I'm like, you have no idea how much you're loved. You have no idea. Like, just wait. Wait till you find it. It's crazy. Makes no sense up here.
Prior to this, when you got to the top of the mountain, was there still something missing?
Not that I could see, right? So this is the hard part when life's going really good and you're crushing it, is in order for you to find this, which in reality, who cares about the feeling? Like that's the next level. It's not about the feeling. It's not about what I get. It's about me going, oh, you have now given me the wisdom and understanding that I am a worthless piece of shit, that I am a piece of dust, and even the breath that I have is not mine, right? I have to go to this place. Who's going to go there when they're winning massively and feeling on fire, right? You have to desire the truth so bad that you're willing to tear yourself down in your own mind in order to find it. This is why success, this is why he talks about the rich man. Like it's very difficult for him to enter into the kingdom of God. And when we say rich, it doesn't necessarily have to mean money. It could be like, man, family's good, wife's good, money's good.
Sure.
Why would I pull myself down? And it's kind of like a kid. You know, when you're teaching your young kids, you're like, hey, you should be honest. And they're like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I tell you that I was the one who drew the penis on the car when I'm going to get in trouble? And it's like, well, because it's integrity, man. And they're like, what's that? You're like, how do I? It's kind of hard to explain to a 6-year-old, right? It's something you feel, man. Right? It's something you feel. And this is very similar. It's just like, that's just a type of this thing with Jesus where it's like, once you see it, you're like, oh, I want to show you my gratitude. And it's not, I'm trying to get to heaven. No, if you're doing that, it's a false God. I desire to glorify you, worship you, and just show you how grateful I am, because nothing I can do can ever even close to, even a speck of dust, repay what you've given me. That's the heart posture. And that is hard to find when things are going very well in your life.
Right.
Which, you know, he helped me with that at the end.
Yeah.
You know, he gave me a son that was really struggling, and he just put a bomb on my business. So he's like, oh, you're almost there. You're almost there. Here, let me give you a little push, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it talked about the mountaintop, you know, the mountaintop is where we go to meet God. And that's good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's in the valley where God comes down to meet us.
Yeah.
And I think you were there, man. I think you were in the valley there. And it's a good spot to be in. Was it hard because a lot of the principles you were teaching, now maybe you were being like a god to your guys.
I'm not the author anymore.
And now you had to go and be like, oh, yeah, he's in charge.
Yeah, I would, dude.
So now you had to take a little bit of your own medicine.
100%.
Man.
I had to take the knee and say, hey, guys, look, everything I taught you, I didn't make it up. It was given to me because I desired and sought it. And then I'm reading the Bible. I'm like, I didn't make anything up. It's all right here. This thousands of years ago, they already came up with everything that I said. I'm like.
That was so funny when I told you that. I was just like, bro, stuff that you're saying, it's in the book.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. You know what I mean? But I was just like, man, this guy could transform and just put God in there. It would be amazing.
Well, and here's the thing I see now. Now that God has worked its way into our transformational process, the heart change is so significant. And our marriages, I don't care who you are, where you are, how chaotic your marriage is, or how close to divorce you are, come find me. If both of you are willing, your marriage will be healed. That is a promise, because now I have this new weapon that is unstoppable.
Yes.
And with just my wife and I and our level of submission to God, he will work right through us. And it is all him, but I just get out of the way and let him do it. And sometimes on these calls with these couples, man, I will say things and do things that I have never done, nor have I ever learned. And I crack their hearts open and they find it with each other. And it's the most fucking beautiful thing, dude. Like what I've seen with these couples at the end of their road, man, and they're done. And to be able to be just there to witness God's miracle happen in their lives. I just let it happen. And then I sit back and watch. And I'm just like, after the call, me and my wife are just in tears. Like, wow, like how blessed do we get to be a part of this? And to have that level of confidence through that is just unbelievable, man.
I wanted to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Elevate Ministries. Elevate Ministries is an authentic, passionate, and innovative church in the heart of Orange County, California. They strive to make their services welcoming and encouraging by intentionally engaging you in all senses to stimulate a spiritual hunger. If you're looking for a great church that's on a mission to change the world one person at a time, I encourage you to check them out at www.elevateministries.com and on Instagram at Elevate Ministries. When this started going down with you,
Yeah.
and the changes started happening, what did your wife Whitney tell you? What did the kids tell you? What were they saying to you? I know you guys are all close,
Yeah.
super close. What was their words to you?
Whitney is such a great wife for me because she doesn't see it. If she doesn't see it yet, she trusts me, right? And I built that trust over a long time. And so she's like, she'll be able to tell me like, I'm not where you're at with this. Like, I don't get it. And I'll be like, just watch, just hang with me. And she has her own moments, you know, where she's coming into her own, but she's funny. She'll be like, my wife's really competitive. So she's like, she'll start ripping on me. Like, I'm just not like you. I'm not all spiritual like you. And I'm just like, wait, do you remember me like 5 years ago? Like, it's not a competition, babe. I think that might be why you're feeling less spiritual, because you're trying to compete with me. Don't compete. Just let it in.
Right.
Right. That's
Right.
the thing we're trying to get rid of. But she's, she's having her own experiences, and it's really cool to watch. With my son, I mean, dude, I had this moment with my son last week. He was exposed to some stuff young that I didn't know about 11 years old, porn, weed, and spending the night at people's houses, and just like, I didn't know, man. Like, I was a free bird when I was a kid. I had no rules. Like, I was a good kid too. I was trusted. So, my first two kids, I didn't have curfew. I was just like, hey, go be good. Don't do stupid shit. If you hang out with dumb people, don't be dumb like them. And, they kind of got it. But one of my kids was just growing up real fast, and he just got caught before he could kind of get it, right? And I was working too hard, too many hours, and I failed him because I was like building superhuman fathers. Now I'm an entrepreneur. Before I was a fireman, so I was home like 3 days a week, 3 or 4 sometimes, just with the kids.
Right.
So superhuman father became like superhuman business owner for a little while. And it was right in that time when he got caught. So we've been working on him, and he is a stubborn little guy. And it has been a battle for the last, 2 years. And recently, we've just been listening and acting, and I'm finding this spot as a father that is like, I'm in the fight with you. And we talk about all these things and bringing Christ in. And we're bringing scripture in. He's reading the Bible and getting these truths out, and now he sees it. He's like, oh, I get it. I have an internal battle. It's the battle between spirit and flesh. And he's like, okay. So, I have these conversations with him, and he'll slip. And he's starting to come and tell us when he slips. He's like, hey, I did this. And I'm like, okay, buddy. So, you know how this works, right? We got to start from scratch. He's like, yeah. And every night he's coming to us and wanting to pray and read scriptures every single night. So he's in the fight with this. And one of the mornings he was really having a hard time. Like he was having this breakdown. He's like, I want freedom. Why can't I be normal? Like all my friends are out playing and stuff and I want to go. And I go, hey, come here, sit down. And he's like walking away from me. And I'm like, son, come, just sit with me. Just sit with me. And he's like, and he comes and sits down with his head down, you know. And I go, hey, I want you to know, I know what it's like to feel like you're underwater, bro. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, like, you feel trapped, right? I go, brother, God's been holding me underwater for years. You know, he's looking at me and he's like, oh, yeah, I know. I know he has. You know? And I go, he holds you under the water so that you'll submit, man. You'll just submit to the process. You won't resent it anymore, and that you'll have hope. And your life will be filled with hope, knowing that you can trust that if you just follow the program, that you're going to have everything that you ever wanted and more. And until you don't need it anymore, my son, that's when it'll come. And I had this realization that my entire setup to find God the last couple years was to sit there in that moment so I could empathize with my son so he could go, oh, I get it. And just another powerful emotional moment in the spiritual frame that I used to do without.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's even more amazing when God takes you somewhere and you're able to share that experience. It's more amazing when it's with your own children. And you're like, now I know why I went through that. Or now I know why I experienced that. Because at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you, not only to help men, but it's helped your marriage. It's helped your relationship with your kids and guiding them through. It's funny that you said that because I remember, I think I caught you a little off guard with one of the questions. And I said, the last podcast, and I said, so what do you do if your son comes to you and he's having a hard time? And he's not, he just, what do you do? And I remember you said, just love him.
I laughed at that when I heard it.
You
on
heard
the
that,
drive
right?
here.
And I was thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, but that's what we all do, right? It's our kids.
Yep.
But now with Christ, it's your love, Christ's love combined.
Yep.
It goes a little deeper. So when Dad's not there, then Christ is that ultimate covering, right?
It's massive. It's like, I mean, we don't know shit. This is the problem, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can literally have the wisdom of God, not only in the writings in the Bible, but now just pouring into me because I've submitted to him. Like, this is the thing. You're afraid to submit, but when you do, you actually become more creative, more wise, more powerful, and you're not afraid to be authentic at all. So you hide nothing. Just as I'm showing right now, I don't care how I'm judged. I don't care how much money I make. I don't care. I care about literal connection to other spirit humans that I can somehow just do whatever I'm supposed to do that's good. Other than that, I don't care. That's a crazy place to be. That's a terrifying place for a driven man to think about, right?
Not care, yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing I need those guys to know. You think I've slowed down? Oh, no. See, they're afraid if they let go that they'll become lazy or they'll become undisciplined. All it is you're building a new foundation.
Right.
With a broken heart. A broken heart to most men feels weak, but that's the lie. This gets very confusing for guys because if they, surface level, show feelings, like cry, oh my God, like I can't do that. I'll appear weak. Do I look weak to you? I will slit your throat. Like, if that's what I have to do, like there's no weakness, there's strength. Now there's a level of me I'm actually don't care what people think of me at all.
Right.
Right. I always wanted that. I thought I was there. I was not anywhere near there.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's a great place to be to not care what anybody says or thinks.
Yeah. And then if you do, guess what? All you got to do is say it. And then it takes its power away.
Right.
Right. Like, wow, I'm very insecure right now. Guess what? That demon or possession or that feeling, that spirit of insecurity, it'll have no power over you. So exposure takes away the power of all that. So I don't have to be perfect. I don't even need to not care what people think.
Right.
And if I do, I'll just say it. Or if I'm having a fight in my marriage, I tell my people. Dude, 3 months ago, this shit is so crazy, dude. And so I got caught up in porn years ago, right? I was in the firehouse. Me and my wife were fighting. It just got me. And I got stuck in it for like 7 years back and forth. And I was very ashamed about it. And I could talk to the guys in the firehouse about it, which was cool. I had a place to talk about it. But, even there, sometimes you'll get like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, right? And when in reality, it's poison. We talked about it on the last podcast. Yeah. If you are stuck in it, I love you. I don't judge you. Are you kidding me? I'm just like you, right? So if anybody hears us like, oh, feeling bad about it, it's like, dude, don't feel bad about it. Just realize like overcoming it is going to be extremely powerful for you. But come on, brain, stay on path. This will happen to me sometimes. Okay, so then I had 7 years of just absolute control. 100% control. I mean, I wouldn't even look at the hot blonde running down the street. I was like, no, I am a righteous man. I do not partake. And I was just like, dude, mind is so locked onto my wife for 7 years. And a couple months ago, I'm in the middle of the night. Freaking, I don't know, I get this weird itch. I pick up my phone and I go straight to some shit I shouldn't be looking at. The leader of Superhuman Fathers. Coaches couples. Teaches discipline. Just looked at some P-Nog on his phone. And I had this moment looking at it. I was like, whoa, duh, panic. What just happened? And I was like, okay, well, I got two choices. I can hide this, or I can do what I teach my men, expose it. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's what we do. So the next morning, Whitney wakes up. I'm like, hey, I looked at some porn last night. She's like, really? I go, yeah, I literally have no idea what happened. And I just wanted to tell you. She goes, this is where our marriage has gotten. Blows my mind. She goes, I'm sorry. I've been neglecting you. This is my wife's response. No anger. Just love, acceptance. No big deal. Doesn't give me shit. Then we have our couples call that night.
You expose yourself.
Here we go. Hey, I got something to tell you guys. And I just let it out.
How do you do that?
Here's why. Because behind penitence is fire. And this is from testing, right? I've taken the risk and done it. Behind penitence is fire. That couple's call, I've never been so powerful in any call in my entire life. The confidence that just came down and the wisdom that blew out and my ability to work with those people. Why? Because I showed what we are supposed to do in order to have the Holy Ghost. Penitence, right? Tell the truth. We can't be perfect. It's not possible. The flesh will always come up and grab us at points in our life.
Sure.
Right? We can't. But what we can do is we can be perfectly honest. I mean, do you see holes in that statement? Like, you can choose to be perfectly honest. I can't find a reason why that isn't true. And I've tested it and I live it. I have nothing hidden, nothing, absolutely nothing. And other things will come up and I expose it. And guess what? My stomach hurts. I want to throw up. It's humiliating. But behind it is power and peace, which proves the entire gospel. So I'm very scientific with this also. I want to test stuff, and I have a lot of test subjects. So I test the spiritual truths, and I want to see the fruits. I'll also go in and I'll ask God. I'll say, hey, is this Jesus stuff's really true? Like, am I just making this up because I want it to be this way? And he'll speak back to me. Oh, you want it to be crushed? You want to get close to the cross? You want it to be harder? You want to suffer? Yeah, kind of. Well, where does that come from? Because look, now I'm going to get really weird. And you know, maybe some Christians are going to be like, well, slow down, buddy. I had this thought, like, what if heaven and hell is the same? And the only difference is the way we see it, where our heart is, right? Because the cross, if you put a normal person through that, right, he'd be pissed. He'd be like, I'm out on this God thing. That's dumb. But for Jesus, it was an honor, right? So is heaven service at such a high level that your heart has become so full of love that all you want to do is work and serve others, no matter what the sacrifice required? The pain becomes a blessing. And those that don't have the change in heart are going to burn because they don't want that. But that's what is. Anyway, deep stuff, just thoughts, not scriptural. I get it.
Free will, though. Right?
Free will.
It's free will. What do you want to do?
What do you desire?
Right. And the part where you said, you told Whitney, the confession. There's something about confession. You confess your sins to one another.
Yep.
You ask God, you repent. I think to kind of do that, it's tough. It's tough. And that's, like you said, it's embarrassing. It's hard. You feel you let your wife down. Do you feel now that you have Jesus that it is harder? In a sense of more of those little attacks, more of those things where you're like, whoa, what the heck, what did I just do? Or, you know, where you're, because the enemy's not going to attack you if he already got you.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
If you're already not living for God, the enemy's like,
yeah.
who cares? But when you start living for God, and then you're like, oh, the enemy goes, oh, I can't let Kyle and his big loud voice go for that way. I got to bring him down a few notches here.
I have felt a redlining, stress, anxiety, pain that is more than I've ever experienced ever since I said, hey, I'm in. What am I supposed to do? Take a knee, get in the water? Like, what do I do? Do I announce it? What do I do? Ever since that moment, my stress in my life has gone out the roof. And I understand the closer you get to Christ, the closer you get to the cross. I get it now. Whereas it's like, if you don't get that, like Christianity, it's not supposed to just make you happy, and it's getting closer to the cross and having the internal peace to be able to handle that heat, right? I mean, I'm reading the stories and I'm like, you know, we just read Stephen getting stoned and how the other apostles were killed. And like, we have a basic, easy, safe Christianity in this, in where we're at, and it can make us very weak. And I love the church we go to, and I love Christians, but most of you guys are not disciples. Like, I look at it and I'm like, you're not doing it.
American Christianity is not the hardest thing.
It's not. We don't have to die for this. We don't like.
Yeah.
And so it goes back now to the same things we talked about on the last podcast. It's like, life's too easy.
Yeah.
So we have to do what we can to actually declare our faith. And most of it that I see is weak. It's very weak. And then you have some guys, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's got it. You know? And at the same time, the dichotomy is I'm just as weak. I'm no better. It's not, right?
Right.
So it's like calling people forward to step in, but realizing that I am nothing, so that I don't use self-righteousness as a way to scratch my ego at the same time, because in the end, I can't do this anyway. I've been blessed or cursed with an idea and a vision of something, right? That I can't deny. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm no better than you.
Let me ask you this. When you found Christ, I had a guy the other day, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy, has his own academy, all that, black belt. You know, you start getting to the black belt, you think like, hey, you know, I made it.
Yeah.
This guy's doing great.
Yeah.
Great guy. But he made a comment where he said something on his post where he says you have to keep, he mentioned politics, but he said religion, God outside of your business because it's going to ruin your business. And I said, your faith should be first. And your faith, if you're truly faithful and you're truly following Christ, it's going to affect everything.
It's going to get you killed.
That you do, right? So with that said, and I get why he was saying that, because he was saying, don't let it ruin your business. And I told him, well, you can't compartmentalize Christ. If he's in you,
yeah,
that's what it's all about. It'll affect the way your business. Were you afraid that you were going to maybe lose some clients?
I did.
Maybe lose some friends because now you're incorporating Christ. And let's be honest, for some people, that's a hard line, or that's very polarizing.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost millions. I brought the Bible into the group, and they spread like bugs. And now this version of me, people don't know what to make of me. They're like, that's not the guy I started following. Like, I'm not down with this. See, here's why, and here's where it's a little weird, because, like, I'm still me. Like, you hear some fucks still come out of me, right? So this is confusing.
Just a couple.
This is confusing to me. So I'm confused because I've come to God's feet with this. Hey, what do I need to change? Nothing. You be you, okay? Keep being you. There is a man that needs your voice and your fire and the way that you do it, which now I'm getting attacked from both sides. I'm getting attacked from people that aren't Christian that are like, you're a Jesus freak now? What a loser, right? And I'm getting attacked from Christians. You can't be a Christian with that mouth. So now I'm getting it from both sides.
Right.
I'm hated by both sides. And I can't change because I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm painted into a corner.
There's something about being who you are and being true to yourself, right? A lot of people in this day and age, we talked about the coaches that are something else. I got the Rolly, I got this, I got that, and then you know, like their bank account's $100. You know what I mean? They're in debt.
Yeah, just like shit, don't say that in the reel. Don't show that.
Yeah, don't show that.
It's like, hey, we got to make some money. Let's see if we can scrounge up some money to get a Lambo and take some pictures with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that, but when you in parts of that, I get. Right? You're trying to sell something. And obviously, when you try to sell something, you got to make it look better than it actually is.
Marketing.
But when you bring Jesus into it, it will set a tone. Yeah. And when you say you lose millions, nobody could really, I mean, I'm not trying to give you glory, but I will give you this. When you follow Christ, you got to give up a few things if you're really about it.
And here's the best part, and I'm just going to let this pour all over me. It's a privilege. It is not a sacrifice. This is what is misunderstood. It's not a sacrifice. We don't need anything. Nothing. We're good. Man, we're blessed. It's already there.
I've said that before. A lot of time when you come to Christ, you think of all the things that you had to give up, right? I have to give up this. I have to give up that. I have to give up this. You never count the thing. Well, it's not about the things I have to give up. It's about the things that I've gained.
It's the wisdom of not needing it anymore that brings the peace that you seek. That's it. And guess what? By living that way, you probably get it all. But if you desire it too much, then you don't get it.
Or for the wrong reasons.
Sure.
Right?
Right. If it's prioritized above, right? And if it becomes a leverageable God to you. So like if If I say, well, I'm not going to bring Jesus into my business, that's a leverageable God to me now. So I don't talk about the thing that I say is most important to me here because I might lose money. And it's like,
I want to keep that.
I want to keep that piece.
We keep saying that. We keep going back to that. I want to keep that over here. Let me keep that in this compartment over here.
Yeah.
I just want to hold on to this, Lord. Do you really need all of that?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. And also, this is such a long path of transformation that when people hear this, I don't want them to think like they're not good enough or they're being judged or whatever. Because people mess up all the time in my world to a really high degree. And I'm like, yeah, this is the process, man. Listen, you've got to go worship all the false gods. I worshiped all the false gods. I kneeled at their feet. I listened to their promises. And I sat there and I did the work. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's try a different one. Maybe it's this one. And then you start climbing up the ladder of false gods. And you can get stuck there. It's dangerous, right? But if you have an open heart and an open mind, and you stay humble and realize you don't know everything, and you're seeking, every time you find a false god that you bow to, you'll go, I don't think so. What's the next thing? And you just keep testing. This is why you can't just tell someone like, hey man, you just gotta give it all to Jesus. And they're just like, what are you talking about? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And I'm like, yeah, like when someone says that to me, I go, I get it. In fact, from where you're at and what you're experiencing, I totally agree. Like I see that. I completely see that. And for you, it's true right now. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to do anything. Let's just talk about like where you're headed and what you want. Right? Because if they want good things, it's gonna lead them to the truth. And so we can be patient with people. We don't have to just hit them over the head with Jesus. It's like, this person needs to know that I love and accept them and understand they're on a path. And I'm going to help them on the path, not needing anything for them either. No forcing, no compulsion,
Right.
But helping them get what they want. So if a guy's like, I really want to be like, have a connection to the universe. I'm like, great, let's connect to it. Let's connect to the universe, man. Get them really good at connecting to the universe. Guess what the universe is going to tell them? The truth. Right? And on the other hand, what are your priorities? People are like, I want to be they say, I just want to have a peaceful, connected marriage. And, I want my kids to be happy and I want to be a good dad. Nobody's going to say, I would rather make money than be a good dad. No one's going to say that, but their life will show otherwise, right? So if you find out what they say they want and then help them to see where they're off kilter, it's hard to see it sometimes, right? So you help them to see it. You go, well, what do we need to change or shift or do? You take a man and you get him focused on his family, then you get him really focused in his marriage, meaning like eyes wide open of the asshole, egotistical asshole that he is. That will lead to Christ. Marriage will lead to Christ. When you do it the way that you're supposed to as a man, it will lead to Christ.
100%.
Yep.
It's all throughout the Bible. Jesus calls the church his bride.
Yep.
There you go. Jesus says, love your wife like I love the church. What did Christ do for the church? Died for the church.
Yep. Which we have to do all the time with our crazy women, right? It makes no sense, bro. Like, it makes no sense to the man to have his wife just running her mouth at him, saying all this crazy stuff, and then you're just like, to not say anything and just to sit and be like, God, you're beautiful when you're mad. Get that out. I got you. And just hold her fire. Not my job to change her, just to love her. And guys are like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if that bitch talks to me like that, I'm out. I'm out. And it's like, you're gonna miss the thing. It's on the other side of faith. It's on the other side of the struggle. You have to hang in there with it. I teach these guys, you go first, man. It's you. You're the example. And until you are the example, she will not follow. She will test you. And so if I'm losing my mind all the time, telling her what she needs to do and what she needs to be, but I'm not living that to the T,
right,
as an example for multiple years, she will test you and test you and test you, and she will never find it herself. But there comes this amazing point where you say something to her like, hey, I notice that when you talk to me like that, you kind of get this weird look in your face. What is that? Dude, the first time my wife was like, I think that's my ego. I was like, oh my God. Did you just do some self-introspection? Like, she's like, yeah, I noticed that, like, there's this feeling that I get that, like, makes me, like, want to be right. And I'm like, oh, it's happening. You know, but that took a long time to get her to not be defensive and feel safe enough to do her own work, to, like, realize, like, she's safe to not be perfect here and to look in herself and see faults, and then to share those with each other in discussion is like gold, man.
But my wife always tells me a story when she wanted me to change so bad. It wasn't always the best husband, contrary to popular belief out there. And she said that when she released it to God to fix, she said that was the best thing, because she was trying to force it, trying to change me with words, trying to change me with her actions. And when she finally just said, hey, enough, because Lord, I'm going to pray, because your conviction on his life is going to be greater than anything I can say or do. She said when she released that, boom, it was a game changer. That's when I began to change.
Look, I'm still doing it, bro. Look at the conversation we just had. I said, I'm going to set the example for her. Why don't we skip all that? Let's just get them introduced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy.
It is crazy. You know, it's so funny because old habits fall hard, right? Like, I'm still that guy, hard driving. Like, I'll take care of it. I got this, man. Oh, there's a fireman. And there's a problem. I got it.
Yeah.
I just totally reframed that whole idea right there.
Yeah. I it feels good. I'm a fixer too. I want to fix everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get it done.
Or even this, God, work through me for this. Or it's like, how about you just goes directly to the source and you just handle this.
You just handle it for me. I can't do it. You know,
I'll just get out of the way.
Yeah. Let me get out of the way. Perfect. Now, you got a book coming out.
Yeah, it's out, man. It's free. There's a
What's
audio.
the title? Where can we get it?
Hard Man, Soft Heart.
Who should buy your book?
Every man on the planet. Like, look, okay, I don't know how much time we have here.
A few more minutes.
Okay, cool. So you got different types of men, okay? You have the hard man with the hard heart, okay? That's kind of like, we probably came from that a little bit.
Stubborn.
Yeah, stubborn, like, dude, I'm the man's man. I'm going to do the work. I don't need to share my damn feelings. Crying's for bitches. If you feel anything, stuff it and just keep it to yourself.
Going.
Right? Keep going. Dude, that is a skill that every man needs to have. They need to have grit. And if they don't have that, they start to fall into being pretty useless. So it's very important. But that man many times has a tendency to have a rock hard heart where he cannot be seen or felt by his wife or by anyone else and has no real relationships. And if you can't speak heart, you will not hear the voice of God. Right? That's the hard man, hard heart. Then you have the soft man with the soft heart. That guy is, if he's fully soft with the soft heart, he's pretty much a useless man. He's a female in a man's body, right? Now, I have to be careful with that. That's kind of actually not true and offensive because there's so many powerful women.
Just soft.
Yeah,
I
like
get what you're saying.
That,
You're just soft.
I retract that statement because
Okay.
there's not a lot of truth behind that. But he's just soft. So he's undisciplined. He's fat. He doesn't follow through with things. He'll make excuses. He can't really hold a job because he shows up late or whatever. So we're all in between these things somehow, right? But he can feel and he can talk and he can communicate and he can and his family feels safe, right? So then you got the worst kind. You've got the soft man with the hard heart. That guy's the worst because he's soft. He offers nothing and his heart is absolutely hard. So he's just full of ego and defensiveness and he's a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
So what we're trying to build is the hard man with the soft heart.
It's good.
Right? And that takes a lot of work to build that. So the whole entire book is about building this man that has both sides. We call it the superhuman father, the warrior monk, the hard man with the soft heart. That's the game we play at Superhuman Fathers, and it very much has become a program of discipleship. like to hold men accountable to what it means to be a disciple. 2 things, discipleship and healing marriages. That's where I'm at right now.
Wow.
That's all I do.
Wow. Good stuff, man. I'm glad you came.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm glad you came. I'm blessed to see all that God's doing in your life and gonna do, continue to do.
Thank you. Thank you for being a spark that right at that time, it was just kind of like right at that time I was open. And
I remember you came to church too.
yeah.
Heard me preach that time.
Yeah.
And I seen you like just sitting there. Like I knew something was going on.
Yeah.
And it couldn't pinpoint it, but I was like, he came. I'm gonna let you do the work, Lord. You just continue just to chip away. And I knew you had something. I when you came last time, I knew there was something there. I was like, I love this dude. I mean, this dude is, if we can get him with Jesus, it's gonna be really superhuman.
Yeah, man. God's told me too. He's like, hey, the level of abundance that's going to come into your life is so insane. And he goes, but it's not yours. It's mine. I was like, I get it.
So good, man. So good. It's great to have you again, brother.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming all this way. I know you got to get a dinner, but we do one more thing.
Yeah, I do. I remember.
We do the Furious 5 here.
Of course we do.
And we ask 5 furious questions.
Bring
You ready
it.
for this one?
I'm ready, dude.
Question number 1 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. If you can go back to the Kyle that was here last time, what would you tell that guy?
Oh, man, I'd be like, I love that guy. I just love that guy. Hey, just keep doing what you're doing. You got some shit coming down the pipe that's going to break you. You just hold in there. I'm not going to tell you anything else. You're going to get it when it comes. Just know, just trust everything that's coming has a purpose and a reason, and it's all going to make sense to you. Good luck. See you soon.
Now, you're an early riser.
Yeah.
Question number 2. What is the most non-negotiable, crucial thing that you do in the morning?
Dude, that's become... It's a toss-it between the Bible and the stack. The stack is the prayer, so that's it.
I love the stack is the prayer. I love that.
Yeah, that's it. So that's weird, though, because it used to be like gym, right? That was like the most important thing.
Yeah.
And now it's just we still do it every day. It's a far cry, man. That's crazy.
Crazy. But what a great add-on. That's the stack.
Yeah.
Question number 3 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. One thing every man should be doing physically. If you can pick one thing to give every guy.
Yeah, like if there's only one thing you could do, it's probably burpees.
Burpees.
Yeah, if that was the only exercise you could do.
And you need nothing.
Yeah, you don't need anything.
Just the floor.
Yeah, you're not going to get super jacked, but you'll get muscle and you'll be ripped and you'll get a full body workout. Like you could literally just do that and get your nutrition on point. That's it. That's all you'd have to do. It's very simple.
Question number 4 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. When you see a man that's not fit, can you receive from him?
Explain receive.
Wisdom. Him talking about discipline. Those things.
Yeah, so it depends on his level of authentic truth that he speaks with, right?
Okay.
So if I'm going to test him and ask him questions, but if he's an honest man, then he will be willing to see where he's full of shit, right? So if I can show it to him and he accepts it, now it's not me receiving, it's us receiving together, right? So I'm totally in. And I'll take his stories and his concepts that he learns, as long as he can come to the table completely non-defensive and real, because I'll do the same. I'll come and bring my shit. You bring yours. Both got stuff we got to work on. If there's any defensiveness or anything, I'm out. Not listening to a word you say because it's all bullshit.
Question number 5 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. okay, you got a guy that comes in, you work with him,
Yep.
he's changing. You're like, okay, is there a point in time, or what's the point in time when you release that guy?
Never.
Never.
The game is never in. He releases himself if he's found another place and another path and another way. But this path never ends, man. Like it. What do we say, man? Closer you get to Christ, closer you get to the cross. There's only more fire to deal with.
Yeah.
So
Things change, right?
and life changes and
Life
things
changes,
come up.
seasons change.
Yeah, the game is fun. When you play the game of transformation for real and you're committed for life to play it across the board and you're totally open to wherever it may take you, you're going to be on a great adventure.
So what you're saying is we never arrive.
Yeah, and what I'll also say is that if you're trying to do this alone, you're a mess. You're lying to yourself. You're hiding. I've done it myself. And then I see guys, too, that have been with us for a while, and they leave, and then they're like, I fell off real bad, Kyle. I'm like, no shit. So when guys leave, I go, what tribe are you going to? What
Right.
brotherhood are you going to, right? And they're like, well, I was thinking of just kind of doing it on my own. And I mean, you know where that leads, right? Like every single time. If you're not held accountable, you will go to the weak place, and you will slip, and you will fall every single time. Who do you expose yourself to? Where do you do your penitence? Oh, I just talk to God. God's not telling you to be all alone, man.
Yeah, we need each other.
Yep.
We need some accountability.
Yeah, man.
That's part of the process.
Yep.
Appreciate you coming out, man.
Thanks, brother.
Where can everybody find you at, bro?
Oh, man. Instagram, Superhuman Fathers. YouTube, Superhuman Fathers. Putting a bunch of new content on the YouTube. I haven't
Let's
really
go.
pushed it. It's time to do some long form content.
Let's
and,
go.
You know,
And
Yeah.
you and it's fitness. You got marriage now. You got being fathers, right?
man.
Husbands.
yeah.
All that good stuff.
Can't miss a piece, man. You got to go all in with all of it.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate you coming out.
Thanks, dog.
That'll conclude this episode of the Street Gospel Podcast with my brother Kyle. Check him out. Got a new book. Go get his book. Challenge yourself, man. Be accountable. Find somebody. We all need somebody to be accountable to. And most importantly, find Christ. We love you guys. We out. Peace.